Morning, class. Today we're going to work on literal equations, which is when you solve an equation for different variables. A lot of the manipulation is going to be on formulas, so let's get started. So solve for the variable indicated. The first one says we need to solve for the variable y. So we need to get this. When it says solve for y, the goal is to get it to y, say y equals, whatever. This is our final answer. Now, y is on this side with a negative 5x. What we need to do is get this, say, y equals. So we've got to move this negative 5x. The only way to move something is to use the opposite operation. So since this says minus 5x, we're going to add 5x. Those will cancel, and it will leave me with y equals on this side. Now, be careful with your like terms. I have negative 56 and I have a 5x. You cannot combine your x terms with your regular terms. So this is just going to be 5x minus 56. Now, let's look at the second example. It says solve the equation for w. Now, if you notice, this is the formula for perimeter. Perimeter equals 2 times length plus 2 times width. Now, we want to solve for w. W is all the way over here. So what we need this to say is w equals, whatever's left over. Everything we have to do is just using opposite operations. So we've got to get w by itself. First, I'm going to move this other value. This right now is a plus 2L, so I'm going to subtract 2L. Whatever you do on one side, you do to the other. These cancel. Now P is not the same as L, so we cannot combine those, so you got to leave it as P minus 2L. And we have on this side just 2W. That's almost correct. I need this to be W by itself though. So right now this says 2W, so it's 2 times W. Now think the opposite of multiply, that would be divide. So we divide by 2. Divide one side by 2, divide everything on the other side by 2. These will cancel, and it will just leave me with W, and then on this side I have P minus 2L divided by 2. Alright, getting the hang of it? Let's try example 3. Okay, this is an area formula. Area is equal to perimeter times 1 plus RT in parentheses. I want you to try this one, try to solve for R, okay? Remember, use the opposite operation and move things out each time. Give it a try, push pause on the video until you've tried it, push play when you're ready to see the answer, okay? Push pause now. Alright, so first thing we got to do is we've got to get R by itself. It's got a being multiplied by t, adding 1, and in parentheses is being multiplied by p. So first, we have to get rid of this parentheses. We've got to get these terms by itself. So we've got to do the opposite of multiply by p, which means we've got to divide by p. These cancel, and over here, I just get a divided by p, because I don't know what either of those values is. Now over here, I would have left 1 plus RT, and I can get rid of the parentheses because it's not being multiplied by anything anymore. Goal is to get R by itself. So next, let's move this 1. So we'll subtract 1 on both sides. This canceled. Now these are letters. This is a regular number, can't combine them, so we've got A divided by P minus 1 would equal R times T. And now we've got to get rid of the t. Well, this is multiply, so cancel out and multiply by doing divide. Now we're going to divide everything over there by t. Well, when I do a divided by p divided by t, you're going to get a divided by p, and let's put that in parentheses and divide that by t. Minus 1 divided by t minus 1 divided by t equals R. This is just how I would write it. There's a few different ways you could write it, but I didn't want to have a divide sign over a divide sign where you get a fraction over a fraction. All right? I'm going to stop the video here. We got 3 more to do on the next one.